How's it going, guys? Sean from CEO here, and under penalty of death, I have been asked to divulge my chili recipe. I'm going to start off by saying that chili is not a science, so anybody that tries to tell you otherwise is lying. Basically, it's just a bunch of ingredients thrown together in a pot. It doesn't matter what. It can be vegetarian, it can be non-vegetarian, it can have only meat in it, it can have no beans in it. Like I said, it's not an exact science, and anybody who tells you otherwise is lying. Basic ingredients: a bunch of different canned tomatoes, diced with green chilies, tomato sauce, tomato paste, various different kinds of beans and spices, salt, pepper, garlic. Probably the only thing really special that I like to put in is I like to put in ground chipotle pepper and smoked paprika, but you don't have to do that. It can be up to your own interpretation. Meat-wise, I prefer ground beef and ground turkey, but I've done it with leftover Christmas turkey, which is really awesome. And it could be really anything you want. Thanks for helping out, bro.
My pleasure, man.
A word about beer. There's this popular misconception amongst people who make chili and put beer in their chili is that your beer should neither be dark nor hoppy. To that I say ha! And ha again, and yes, it can be. As a matter of fact, I prefer to put darker and hoppier beers into my chilies because I find that the darker beers add a nice rich flavor and that the hoppy beers tend to accentuate spices as well as calm down intense heat. It's a really strange phenomenon, but either way, they taste great. Today we're going to put in Sierra Nevada's collaboration with Asheville Brewers Alliance, the Tater Ridge, which is a Scotch ale made with sweet potatoes. I've never actually gotten a chance to try it, so before I put it into the chili, I want to make sure that's actually going to go well with it. I would really recommend that you pour this out into another cup, but I don't have one right near me. Yeah, that's going to work nice. And we're going to add this little nice thing of scotch that some friends have gifted to me and the wife for the holidays, which is nice. Really the point of the alcohol is for flavor and to kind of help tenderize the meat, because the first thing we're going to do is we're going to brown the meat and it's going to get kind of dry, so you want to bring back a little bit of moisture. Another thing that we're gonna possibly add a little splash of is, this is a shout out to my good friend Dr. Atlas from Timeless Pints. This is their Huckleberry Oatmeal Stout. It's gonna be a little bit creamier than the Scotch Ale, a little bit more heavy on the mouth, but it's gonna taste really good and add a nice fruitiness to complement the different types of tomatoes and some of the spices that we're gonna put in. So I'm gonna open up the cans and we're just gonna start throwing things in the pot.
She's just gonna use this as background anyway.
Another important thing about chili: don't be fancy. First things first, brown the meat. Ladies, Nick is a sensitive man. A word about the beef: season it before you brown it. Once you got the meat all browned, and you want it browned kind of thoroughly and get it to a pretty fine crumble, it's time to add the beer and the scotch. It's about 60-40 the Scotch Ale and the Huckleberry Stout, so just pour that right in there. And with the scotch, just a little hint. You don't even really need that much. Now what we're going to do is we're going to let the meat sit in there and simmer for just a little bit. Next, add veggies. Try not to spill any. Add beans. 2 cans diced tomatoes, juice and all. 1 can diced tomatoes with green chilies. 1 small can plain tomato sauce.
Made with California grown tomatoes.
The final point of the tomato realm: tomato paste. This one isn't so easy to pour. Now it's time to add the spice. Garlic, organic, if you prefer. Because a little bit of garlic never hurt anybody. Cumin. chili powder. Oregano. Mexican cut would be preferred, but I got Greek. It'll do just fine. And now for the special touches. Smoked paprika, ground chipotle pepper. Use sparingly. Stir it all up. Once everything's brought together, bring it to a simmer, slap on the lid, and walk away for at least 3 hours. Okay, two's fine.
So the chili is officially done, and it's time to eat.
After 2 hours, it should be ready. Then, serve. Now, if you want to top with sour cream, something's wrong with you. If you want to top with onions, something's very right with you. If you want to top with cheddar cheese, well then, you're alright in my book. But what I really like is sriracha and raw garlic.